this is Jeffrey Paul Ross for nextlevelguitar.com. Today we're going to work on something a little different than what we've normally been doing, and this is definitely not one of my fortes, but we might as well include it. We're going to be working on some kind of like ragtime piedmont, like North Carolina, Appalachian type acoustic blues. A great guy to listen to for this kind of stuff would be Blind Blake. But there's a lot of guys that played this style back in the 20s and so on and so forth. All right, and before I forget, if you would like a free video lesson that's not on YouTube, click on the YouTube text box below and we will send you a free video lesson with the corresponding ebook. And it's all for free, so you don't have anything to lose. All right, thank you. Now, if you will notice, I have this little device on the guitar here at the 2nd fret. It's basically known as a capo. I've heard guys call it a choke or a clamp. Back in the old days, before things got so sophisticated, guys would take a pencil and use a rubber band or a string and just tie it across the frets there. This is a great capo. This is a shove capo. I like it a lot. And the reason why guys like to do this, that way they could play first position chords that have a very full sound because you're basically utilizing all the strings. But if they wanted to sing something in a higher key, they could, and that's basically what this device does. This basically, you're now starting here as where you would, without the capo, you would start down here at the 1st fret. So now I've got the capo on the 2nd fret, and it's like a bridge. And so we're basically starting at the 3rd fret. And you see I'm playing a chord that looks an awful lot like a first position C chord. It's the same shape, only now we're a whole step above, so we're actually in the key of D. And it gives a nice sound. Now this isn't your standard 1-4-5-12 bar. We're going to be starting on the 1 chord or the D chord, and we'll be using a G or actually an A and an A7, and also there'll be the 4 chord or a G chord, G minor, and a C. So those are the chords that we'll be using. Okay, we're going to look at these chords individually. Now I'm going to call the names of the chords true to the actual pitch, not the chord shape. Because, like I said, like this is a C chord shape, but with the capo, it's giving us a D. That's it, in the pitch, that's actually a D chord. If you don't believe me, there's a D bar chord right there. So, okay. And the chords I'll be using, of course, will be this D chord. There'll be a D7. We'll be using an A chord and an A7. Now, once again, as you can see, that looks like a G chord. Same shape, we're just, once again, we're a whole step north of that because of the capo. So, G, a G minor, so there you go. Now I'm going to be doing little walk-ups and little fills and stuff, and we'll discuss those. Okay, the first one will be this. right, so, and this is basically out of an A chord. We have the A note, then we have the high third here on the G string, on the 6th fret. So we have the A note on the low E string, first finger on the 5th fret, and then we're skipping. We're going to skip the A and the D string and put our 3rd finger on the G string. You know, it's a C sharp note with our 3rd finger. And we're going to finger pick that. Now, I think most guys would probably use their thumb and their 1st finger. For some reason, it's more comfortable for me to use my 3rd finger. Now, the next, and these are all 2 notes. So, the next is we're going to hit the open A string, and we're moving this note on the G string up 1. Then the next chord, there's actually a double stop, will be 1st finger on the 4th fret on the A string. And now we're skipping the D and the G string, and we're fretting the B string on the 5th fret. So, in combination, that's how that should sound. And now we're gonna hit this D chord that looks like a C chord. And I'm finger picking. So I'm hitting that chord, and I'm hitting the A string with my thumb, and the rest of the strings I'm kind of brushing up with my fingers. And then with my 3rd finger on my right hand, I'm hitting that open E string. So, now we're going to get this little dissonant thing in here. Now when I play it slow, you're going to hear the dissonance, so it might sound a little sour, but when you play it fast, it sounds cool. It sounds bluesy. So, and what I'm doing, we're out of this D chord that looks like a C chord. I'm moving my 3rd finger off of the A string to the low E string on the 5th fret. And when I hit that, and this is kind of a reach, so this may take a while for you to get used to, with my little finger, I'm coming up here to the 6th fret on the B string. And I'm picking that, usually with my 2nd finger. Now, for me, when I finger pick, a lot of times I'm not really paying attention to which fingers I'm using. It's just whatever's closest. So I'm not a classical player. I'm not so nice and neat with all the little ends sewed up, you know. So after this, that note right there, I'm going to go back and hit that open E string again. Okay, then the next thing, we're going to go to this A chord that looks like a G. And we're just going to hit that one. I'm kind of brushing down with my thumb and then catching the high E string with one of these guys. Yeah. After that, we're going to lift the third finger off, move this from the A string, and we're going to hit this A flat note on the 4th fret on the high E string. And that's just kind of a walk down to this A 7th chord that looks like a G7. Alright, so we have gone from the A to the A 7th. And then we're going to do this little and this is, we'll start with our little finger on the 5th fret on the B string, slide it up one. Once again, don't let the dissonance, like when you play it slow, because then you can really hear the dissonance. Don't let that throw you. But we're going to slide up one, and then we're going to hit the high E string. Then now with our 3rd finger on the 5th fret on the B string, E note, then drop that down with our 1st finger on the 3rd fret on the B string. Then the next note will be with our 2nd finger on the G string on the 4th fret, and then the open G string. Okay, so and then just make that D chord that looks like a C chord. So we're going from the D to the D7 to G, G minor, to the D, to the A, to the D. So I'll do that slowly. Piedmont or ragtime style blues. So once again, this has been Jeffrey Paul Ross for nextlevelguitar.com, where we do have over 950 examples of various types of guitar lessons, starting with beginners, intermediate, on up through advanced. So we'll see you next time.